Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing readings about finding comfort, because sometimes the world is scary and we need to do that. So we have the cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and we have 4 cards. So feel into the cards. One of these or more will have a reading for you about finding comfort. And I am going to be using the maple runes because I haven't used them in a while, and maple's awesome. So feel into the cards. Card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card number 4. One or more of these will have a reading for you about a message for you that will help you about finding comfort. And I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello, card number 1, people. So let's turn the card and see a little bit of what your finding comfort reading is going to be basically about new life. Okay, so sometimes one of the ways that you can find it is that whole idea about today's the first day of your rest of your life kind of thing, where you are basically going to say, okay, if I'm not feeling comfortable the way things are, then I'm going to start making what's around me feel more comfortable for myself. And this could be, this could involve lots of things. A lot of it's going to involve changing things that you are doing, because if you do the same things are going to stay the same. Don't expect things to be different if you're not going to do anything different. So it could be, one of the things that, a lot of people that I know are doing, and I know that we are doing, is just avoiding the things that make you avoiding the things that make you upset that you have no control over. So like news, for example, like if there's something that, there's like literally nothing you can do about it, like nothing. And with a few exceptions that you don't have access to. Just like it's not ignorance, it's self-preservation. So things like that, just basically make the decisions of things. And it could even be things like maybe, just paying attention, like being mindful of what it is that sometimes when you do them, like maybe you end up not feeling so good. So like, for example, like if you eat, like a couple of years ago, I was like, you know what? I eat a lot of junk food and I don't feel good after. And like, so if I'm not feeling good, it's like, have I been eating junk food? Yes. So let's not do that. So basically just, it's a matter of like making the little steps that start to make around you the new life that will help things be a little better and help you have comfort. So anyway, let's get some, this whole thing isn't going to be a confessional about me. Let's get some runes down, maple runes, that'll help clarify this. Yeah, so you're not happy, and then we're going to start taking things step by step, and that's good. So, So I'm laying down the entire reading to start with, and then we're going to go from there. How are you? The world is weird. All right. So, central issue for this reading, card number 1, people, where what we're addressing for your comfort, finding comfort is new life. We have Ivaz. Ivaz is the rune of the yew tree. This has to do with patience, slow growth, slow development, step by step. So whatever it is, it's not something you have to do completely new, but it's going to be about doing those, like taking those steps, like paying attention to what makes you feel not good and like going, maybe I don't need to do that, and then not doing that. So, and it could be like other things. It could be, I could list many things that it could be, like maybe maybe there's things that you're doing in your life that maybe you thought you should be doing that you have to do, but then you actually don't have to do them. And it's like, why am I doing this? So that kind of thing, like do the little changes step by step, and pay attention to how you're feeling, and maybe things will be better. So leading up to this, we have Funyo reversed. Funyo is the rune of joy. So obviously joy reversed. You haven't been feeling as happy as you would like to. So now it's time to start making those little changes that are going to start making your life better. What is going to help you? We have algae. Algae is reversed. Algae is the rune of the elk or the moose, and this has to do with protection and support. So reversed, it has to do with self-protection, self-support, basically standing up and saying, I am going to make this decision for me that is going to protect and support me. And these are the things that it's going to be. Like, just basically exactly that. It's like nobody else is going to do this for you. It's your life, and you are the only one who can feel whether something that you're doing is not helping you or not. So it's not helping you or not. So what isn't going to help you? We have Raido reversed. Again, honestly, I do see this as, okay, new life, la, 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 you've got the wings. But then out with Ivaz here, it definitely is going to be a step-by-step process. And Raido is the rune of journeys. It's reversed on the lower line. So you definitely don't want to just stop everything. Like, don't just give up your journey if you're not happy. Definitely that will not help. You may feel miserable enough that you're like, I don't want to do anything. It's not everything that's the problem. Like, there's a lot of really, really great stuff in your life. And it's just those little things that are sort of there that are, obviously there's big things for a lot of people, but even those big things are surrounded by lots of things that are really, really good. So I don't know, I guess in those cases, maybe enhance those things that are good or turn your focus on those things that are good. And it doesn't mean I'm not promoting toxic positivity. What I'm promoting is let's eliminate the venom so you can function. So pour that milk in so that you can overcome like the venom, and then look at what's going on and go, okay, well, clearly these things are causing me problems. And it's not everything, it's just the things that I'm focusing on. Because for some reason, humans are wired in such a way that things could be wonderful, but if there's like a tiger walking around, then the tiger is all you're going to focus on, which is for self-preservation. However, once we are taking steps to make sure the tiger doesn't get in, it doesn't make sense to keep focusing on that. I know this is like a whole thing. Like, obviously there are people who are going to help you with this. Like, if you're having that level of trauma and that level of traumatic response. Anyway, what's going to help you is take those steps. Take those steps to self-support. And if you need to go and get outside help, definitely do that. Your next step on the path line, we have Nauthi's reversed. This is in the middle of the entire reading. This is pinning the entire reading. And this is exactly what I was saying. When you determine, like, as soon as you overcome the venom, like once you milk it down, and it's like, okay, I can see that there's good things. The bad things are overwhelming me to a point where I need to do something about it urgently. We have Nauthi's reversed, which is the rune of need. It always means tend to your needs, but when it's reversed, it means drop everything and tend to your needs. This is an emergency. So you will become aware of what the emergency is and what you need to deal with immediately. And I sound like I think I'm about to sound like I'm going against what I just said, but we have Kaunas reversed. Kaunas is the root of the torch or the fire. It means expansion when it's upright, and when it's not, it means honing focus. So you do need to now turn your focus on the emergency. So you're not focusing on the thing that's upsetting you and not having any sort of solutions to it. You're turning your focus on it and saying, okay, we know this is the problem, and we're not going to consider anything. We're not going to say everything is bad. We're going to say, like, this is bad. This is the thing that we need to deal with in our lives, and either minimize it, neutralize it, or eliminate it if possible. What isn't going to help you is we have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. This has to do with agreements, decisions, goals, and plans, sometimes with one-on-one interactions. You may feel obligated to have whatever the problem is in your life. And I'm going to use the example of news, okay? We don't want to feel ignorant of what's going on. We definitely want to stay informed. However, if it is hurting you, and if there's nothing you can do about it, and it's not even in your country, for example, you're not being disempathic for tuning it out so that you can live. Do what you can. Definitely do what you can, but give yourself, time to recover if you are able to. Like, if this is something that you are actually able to recover from so that you can be of help, to the world, give yourself that time. It's important, obviously, or we wouldn't be upset about it. However, put your own oxygen mask on before attempting to assist another. Like, you're no good to help with these situations if you are not able to, like, if you're in a situation where you're incapacitated with the calamity of just even thinking about it, which a lot of us are. So if that is the case, just remind yourself like that there's most of what's around you is probably not horrible. It's just some things that are horrible that need immediately to be addressed. That kind of thing. So, law. Moving on. Your next step on the path line, we have Lagus, which is the rune of the water. It's emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. So I'm going to read this a couple ways. Once you've addressed the main thing that's causing you to be not happy, that's causing you misery and suffering in terms of, like, if it's something that you can address and if it's something that you can face and deal with, that's an important step that will be like your new life is where you are making sure that you're giving yourself time to recover from things, for example. So this is where we start to flow forward. We're just basically, recognizing emotions as weather, and so letting that flow, sort of minding your intuition, following your heart, that kind of thing. This is like where you go from there, because now that you've taken care of that big thing that was in your life that was causing you grief, you can move forward to a certain extent, because that's been either contained or put into a part of your life where it actually has boundaries that don't spill over into what actually gives you reasons to live. So what is going to help you is make sure that you are giving yourself time and space and stillness for the clarity to come through about things. We have Isa, which is the rune of ice. This has to do with stillness and standstill. It's the stillness through which clarity comes. So as you move forward, make sure that as things flow forward, you are giving yourself that stillness where clarity is coming through, and you are able to maintain a good sense of what is clear. Yeah. What isn't going to help is it does feel like an impossible challenge out there. Like the things that are out there, it's daunting and it's disheartening, because it feels like where is the solution? There's like no solution, and you want to be of help, but there's no solution. So it feels like, this could drag you down immediately. Like early, like at the beginning of this, like there's a temptation to just give up on everything, like go into hermit mode, which goodness knows, that's a strong temptation for me too. And then there's also like that sense of obligation to the thing that's hurting you. That's also going to drag you down. And then finally, just the fact that it feels like an impossible challenge out there, that will drag you down for sure. And once again, the solution is stand up, make the choices for yourself. Once you see what the big problem is, focus on it and solving it in your life, however that's going to be. And finally, the solution to it's like an impossible problem, giving yourself that stillness so that you can get your clarity. And your clarity will, like, even if you do want to then pursue helping, having that clarity and having that, being a bit more clear for yourself is going to help you with any help that you want to give. Your outcome for this reading, the last rune in this spread, is Ansus. Ansus is the rune of communication, manifestation, and expression. So this is where you are going to take what you've learned, you're going to communicate, you're going to express, you're going to do what you can to manifest what you want to see in the world, this new life, but also just to, maybe this is telling your story of how you got to this point where you are actually functional now, and not being incapacitated by as often or for as long by the things that are worrying you. And finding the comfort is very important, and then helping people finding that comfort themselves is also very important. So that, card number 1, people, is your reading for Finding Comfort. I wish you and all of us all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2, people. Welcome, welcome. Let's turn the card and see what the basic thing is about finding comfort, round and round. So give yourself a routine, like not rigid, but make sure that you are fitting into your day something that will allow you to recover. And then you can go and revisit the things that are causing your lack of comfort. And then you can go back into recovering. And then you can do, like, you give yourself that, like, let yourself return to things. Don't have like this total constant fixation on the things that are upsetting you and keeping you from having any comfort, because it's that whole oxygen mask thing. Make sure that you have your own oxygen mask on before attempting to assist another. If you are as incapacitated as if you were in the problem that you were trying to solve, which you are also doing, you're not going to be able to help anybody. So help yourself, then you can help other people. Yeah, your focus is joy, which is really good. But it could be that you're focusing on, like, where is it? Basically. So let's get some runes down, get some clarity on this message. How are you? How are you doing? How are people? How are people doing? Yeah. Hence this reading. So ooh, okay. See this, and this is exactly why. This is exactly why. I'll get to that. So this seems to be slipping. Like I fixed this, and now it's. Let me move this down a little. Hopefully, you're not going to get to see my shirt because it's not as pretty as Minnie Mouse this time. It's a. You know what? I think I just built it high. I think that was my problem. Okay. Alrighty. Central issue we have here is Vunyo. Vunyo is the rune of joy. Your focus is on joy, as in, we're going to try to pursue that. We're going to try to fit that into our lives, but we're also like, where is it? Your focus is how do we get that? Leading up to this, we have Ansuz, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. There have been a lot of discussions. You've been doing a lot of communication. Maybe you've been talking to other people about the situations that have been keeping you from comfort. And now you're focusing on, it's like, you know what, I've got to find this. I've got to tap into this because that's the only way I'm going to be able to move forward. And so the card is suggesting give yourself something where you can not so much retreat, although retreat is definitely a part of it, but where you can have those times where you're going to go in and find solace from what's been keeping you from comfort. Like, give yourself that comfort, and then you can revisit. You can come back and revisit with fresh eyes the problems that you've been mulling over and discussing. So the focus is, where's joy? Let's see what we can do with our pursuit of joy, if possible. What is going to help you the most? We have Nauthiz, which is the rune of need. So make sure that you are getting your needs tended to or tending to your needs. It's upright. It's not emergency, but it's just basically like, and maybe that's why you haven't been, is because like, okay, well, it's not an emergency, so I'm just going to leave that while I focus on this other thing. But if you don't treat it as if you don't take care of it, it will become an emergency. It's like nightmares. Like, dreams are going to show you, assuming that you remember your dreams are going to show you what you need, the messages that you're going to be needing. But if you ignore them, they will turn into nightmares. So you definitely want to take care of needs before they turn into emergencies. So get that baseline of like just your fundamental needs. Make sure that that's taken care of. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, ask yourself, have I eaten? Have I had water? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I clean? All those basic things. Like, am I living in a situation where there may be a little too much clutter? Just the things that you can take care of, the things that you do have control over. And then just like take care of them, see if you're feeling better, that kind of thing. Just basically make sure that that's the case. Because if you're questioning joy, if you're questioning where's my joy, make sure that those are in place, come back to that, and then say, okay, where am I now that I've taken care of that? How am I feeling? What isn't going to help is we have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of the water. It has to do with emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. Right away I'm seeing like negative emotions are definitely going to be, they can throw you into a spiral, like the spiral. And so that's not going to help. Not letting your emotions flow is also not going to be a problem. Like, if emotions are basically weather, and so they need to flow, let them flow naturally. Just if you feel, when you feel a negative emotion, when you feel an unpleasant emotion, the tendency is going to be to cling to that, because if it's that negative, it's important, and you need to you're like, people will cling to that, but you need to let it flow. So, and this all stems from what you were talking about. So the solution, once again, is for this line, you're focusing on joy, make sure that your basic needs are being taken care of. Like, basically take care of what you need to. And then that will help you with that. Your next step on the path line, and pinning the entire reading in the middle, is Fehu. Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth. This extends from taking care of your needs. This is basically, let's check a thing. This is basically cattle. This is, the Elder Futhark is before Fehu became specifically money and gold. It's cattle. So it's the wealth that you tend. As long as you're taking care of it, it's going to give your life richness. It's going to give your life worth. So once you've taken care of your basic needs and make sure you're on top of that, look around and see what it is around you that you need to be taking care of in order for it to be giving you the sense of worth that it does. So give your life that sense of richness. So maybe there's some passion that you have, some hobby or some pursuit that you love, but you haven't been doing it, you've been neglecting it. That's no longer going to give you joy if you're not taking care of it. So take care of that cow. Basically, like if you love, for example, going out and taking pictures, and you haven't been because you've been so upset about things, it may feel like you're dishonoring the thing that you're upset about, but it's that whole oxygen mask thing. Get out there, even if you don't feel like it, take the pictures, do the things that, as long as you're taking care of them, give your life richness and joy. And that's going to help you. What is going to help you also? We have, that was just the cattle rune. We have Berkana reversed. Berkana is the rune of the birch tree and birth. It's beginnings and birth. It's the birch tree, and it's beginnings and birth, and it's reversed, which often means inner. I am going to read this a couple ways. The first way I'm actually going to read this is don't start. It's one of the, if you know that there are things that as soon as you get onto that mentally, as soon as you get onto that thought process, as soon as you get into those thoughts, it's going to ruin your whole day. There have been things, in I think all of our lives where, we're fine as you're going along, and then all of a sudden you'll remember that thing, and it could be something from years ago. It could be something that's no longer even an issue, and it'll make you so mad, and it'll ruin the next hour because all you're thinking about is just that moment. And so this is where you're going to tell yourself, nope, don't start. Don't even start. I have no control over that anymore. It is done. It happened. And it's something that let's move forward from that. So that kind of thing. That's first of all, where you're basically going to tell yourself once you get onto that topic. And it could be something current as well. Just as soon as you get onto that topic in your brain, you're kind of going to go to your brain. It's nope, you know what? Don't start. Don't even start. And we're going to do that thing that will nourish our cattle, that will give our lives worth. And because it's a thing that we love, as soon as we get into it, we're going to get into it. But you have to sit to it. You have to put yourself to it and then let that happen. The other way I'm going to see this as is maybe it's time to start incubating a new part of you that is going to be not as ruled by those things that drag you down. Obviously, if there are problems that they are for you to solve personally, and this is not going to be necessarily a problem that's going on somewhere else in the world. This is something the problems that are yours, that are literally yours, there's rain getting in. That's your problem. You need to deal with that. But it's not something that you're going to just, you want to give yourself time to do that. You sit down to that if that's actually your problem. But where it's something where it isn't your problem, but you feel like it's your problem because it's in your face for whatever reason, and you can actually turn away from it if you want to because it's not your problem. But it's still upsetting. But just basically say, start to build start to incubate a self where you're going to be not, where you're going to be sort of able to have that happen, but it's like a picture on the wall kind of thing. Let's go to what isn't helping. What isn't helping is we have Isa. Isa is the rune of ice. This is standstill. This is stillness. Normally I read this as the stillness through which clarity comes. You may be afraid of giving yourself that, so that's something that might drag you down. It's if I do that, then I'm not facing the thing. But I think really what it is freezing in the face of calamity. And it's this same sort of thing where you're going to be like, no, you know what? Don't start. Because once you get on that topic, once you start on it, it just ruins your day. So this is basically you stopping there, and you're going to be like, no, you know what? The things that freeze me in place and all that, I've got to not do that. So we're just basically going to undo that beginning. We're going to back burner that beginning, or just like basically throw that pot out. And then we're going to be able to focus on what we need to take care of. Next step on the path line, we have algae, which is throne of the elk. This is also the moose. This has to do with protection and support. Find your support. This first step is about taking care of your your immediate needs, like your basic needs. Second step is taking care of your things around you that give you joy and give you nourishment and worth. This one's going to be about finding it outside of you. Basically, find your support. Friends, family, like as long as it's people who care for you and support you. Systems that support you outside of you. These are like, be aware of that. Become aware of that. What's going to help you with that is just basically, we have Sovilo, which is the sun. Obviously, the sun is supporting us, even though you don't want to be out in it too long on a summer day. Basically, tapping in, this is your source energy. So whatever it is that whenever you experience it, whenever you do it, gives you your source energy, energizes you, nourishes you. This is what you're going to want to focus on. And this is going to help you be aware of what around you is supporting you outside. Obviously, inner support is implied, but this is an upright algae. So it's what is supporting you. You're going to become very aware of that. What isn't going to help is you're going to reach the point where what's going to be dragging you down is, how much time have I wasted? How little time may be left? What do I have to show for it? We have Yira, which is the rune of the harvest, and also time. And this extends from, the negative emotions surging up, the feeling like freezing in the face of calamity, even if it's not something that directly affects you except emotionally. And then if you're on that part of the thing, which these are the antidotes to this. So if you sort of follow this side of it, by the time you've let your negative emotions drag you down, and by the time you've basically frozen and not done anything about it, you're going to get to this point where what's dragging you down is, I've wasted all this time. What do I have to show for all of this? I've been worrying. Things have not been good. And then it's like, how little time may there be left to make things better? All along, all you needed to be doing, as if this was easy, because these are here because they're temptations. There's something that is going to fall into a bowl. So take care of your needs, back burner anything that's going to be like, nope, don't start. I'm not starting. And then make sure that you are taking care of your source energy, doing the things that connect you to your source energy. And then that's going to help you. And when you do that, you will be more than ready to take on the impossible challenges that are for you, and that are even things that you have sort of in your to-do that may be something that helps the greater world. Basically, this is Thurisaz reverse. Thurisaz is the rune of the challenge. It's the thorn, the giant, the gateway. And this is when you get through all of this, especially if you're staying on the side of it that is helping you, you will then be able to turn and face. I mean, it may be the negative version. It's like, I got to this far and what do I have to show for it? Arg. And then you would just attack this. But hopefully you've done it where you're helping yourself and you're making sure that you're taking care of yourself, and then you'll be ready to face your challenges, even if they are impossible. So that, card number 2, people, is your reading for your finding comfort. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish all of us all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 3, people. Let's get started by turning this card and seeing about your finding comfort message in a bottle. Okay. One of the things that this is specifically saying is sometimes when we are not feeling comfortable and when we are feeling upset, it just gets compounded if we don't have anybody to communicate with, or anybody to get comfort from, and to commiserate with. So it's really important, if you are in this situation where you just feel alone with this, what the card is suggesting is make sure that you are casting something out where you are saying, hey, in some form or another, like it could be on a forum, it could be on like an online forum, or it could be, just it could be like, just get that out there, get it out there, like express it first of all, and then get it out there and say, is anybody else feeling like this? Because that little thing, like even one other person coming back to you and going, yeah, same, that's something, So get that out there. Don't go through this alone, because we have so many people on this planet and everybody's going through it. So, well, mostly. So don't sit alone with this. Make sure that you are, and a message in a bottle isn't a message in a bottle. It's like the opposite of intrusive, maybe for the most part. Why did I try to turn that? Because it landed like that. I was just trying to be helpful. But I mean, it's out there, and it's like people are going to be curious. The right person is going to see it and is going to pick it up and go, wow, yeah, me too, All right, getting the whole reading down. Good. Central issue we have is Hagalaz. Hagalaz is the rune of, not Hagalaz, although that would be nice. Hagalaz is the rune of the hailstorm, and this has to do with chaos, things that are out of your control, nature, weather, things that are just like crazy, just like things have been crazy, things that are out of our control that are making us upset. And one of the things, and I'm going to let you figure this out because of when I'm doing this reading, but one of the things I'm seeing right away is there was a beginning that was backburnered. Something that wanted to begin, or that you wanted to begin, ended up not being begun. And for a lot of us, exactly at this time in the world, check the date, that's a big thing. However, these are general readings for whenever you find them. So you could find this years down the road when things are very, very different. And for you, it is going to be something that it was a beginning that you backburnered, basically. Something that you wanted to begin or that was going to begin, and you had to either backburner it or abandon it completely. And this has left you in a state of absolute chaos. I mean, this could be something really grave, and I'm really sorry if that's the case, because it's awful. But it could be something like a project. It could be something like something you were looking forward to. So let's go to now where we feel like things are chaotic. What is going to help you? We have Uruz reversed. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health and stubbornness in terms of like resistance to things. Obviously, if we're part of a resistance at this point, please keep that up because that's important. But what I'm going to read this as is your inner strength, your ability to face into your internal storms solidly, like the bison, and just face them down so that they go by faster. But definitely your inner strength is going to help you maintain your inner health. That's going to help you. And don't resist how you feel about it. Like, I'm not seeing this as don't resist something horrible that's happening, but I do say, like, in terms of, but as Carolyn Casey says, persistence is more effective than resistance. So facing into the storm and not resisting the storm, but like facing into it is probably going to be your better bet as far as like you can do something if you're moving forward. If you're digging in, it's, you're just basically immovable and not moving, and that's okay to a certain extent. I hope you know what I'm talking about and what I'm saying. Not what I'm talking about, like, specifically to historically this moment, but in terms of when there's, like, a storm. Like, Yona Yinton says, like, the bison will, like, face into the storm. I'm not saying an aurochs is a bison, not at all, but I'm just saying, like, this is a thing. Face into the storm. This would suggest that there's an inner storm going on that you're going to need to face into. Maybe you won't be able to face into the outer storm, but definitely face into the inner storm so that passes faster and you can move forward with that. Your inner strength is going to help you the most in this. You have this. It's inherent. What isn't going to help? We have Fehu reversed. Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth. Reversed on the lower line, you're worried about your worth. You're worried about the worth of about losing the worth of what this beginning was. Like, there was a whole great sense of worth with that, and with that being backburnered, so you feel like part of your worth has been. That's going to drag you down. Like the whole thing about that, just having that beginning end. But bring yourself back up to, no, you know what? I have this inner strength. I am inwardly very, very strong, and this is what I'm going to use to face into emotionally what I'm dealing with. Your next step on the path line is we have manas reversed. Manas, it is also in the middle. It's pinning the entire reading. So this is your big center, like your centerpiece. Mana is the throne of humanity and your part in it. Reversed, it is you turning away from the din of humanity. You're not turning away from humanity, but you are shutting out the din of it. You're basically saying, I'm going to find my inner voice right now. I'm going to basically find my inner truth. I'm going to like gently close the door on the din of what's going on outside, because everybody is facing each other in misery and upset and anger, and just basically tuning that out, because that's what's going on. And I'm going to find my truth, my inner truth, and let that dictate my actions for now. What is going to help you with that? We have Gebo, which is the rune of the gift. This is agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. It's also one-on-one interactions. So I'm going to read that in a few ways. First of all, it's a good idea, once you've shut out the din of humanity so that you can focus on finding your own voice and your own truth, is make some plans, set some goals, make some decisions, and make some agreements with yourself, if with nobody else. But the gift is always an exchange. So there is an implication that there will be people that you trust, hopefully, that you are also going to be interacting with and making agreements and decisions and setting goals with. That's going to help you get yourself that plan while you've got the din of humanity gently shut out. So I don't know if I keep building these too high or what, but I keep feeling, and I'm worried that this is going to swing forward like it did that one time a few weeks ago. But anyway, it's all good. What isn't going to help is we have Isa, which is the rune of ice. It's standstill, it's stillness. It's basically going catatonic in calamity, which goodness knows I'm tempted to do when things are going horribly, horribly wrong, just to lie down and not move. That's not going to help you, though, and it doesn't help me either. So, when you shut out the din of humanity, definitely take some time to breathe. It's like when you come in from a hailstorm and it's like crazy outside, and you finally get inside and you close the door and you just basically lie on the floor for a minute. Do that, but don't stay there. Like, once you're rested and you can breathe and move again, get up, get yourself a tea, and get on with things and make some plans. And that's basically what this is saying. It's like you're going to want to stay there once you get inside and lie down and don't move, because it's going to be overwhelming, because you're still going to hear the clamor of that din in your ears for the first little while, and then that's going to get you on that path of, like, you're going to be thinking about it, and then you're not going to want to get up. Get up, make some plans, set some goals. That's going to help you the most once you're starting to finally connect with your truth outside of the din. Your next step on the path line, we have Yira, which is the rune of the harvest, and also time. You're going to have a lot of fruits of your labors from this. Like, from this step where you basically shut out the din, it's going to be really good for you really fast. You're going to see good results immediately from that. Because it's like, if you've got the news on and it's just awful, and it makes you think that everything's awful. But if you turn the news off and you're not actually actively in a place where things are awful, and if you are, I'm so sorry, and I wish the best for you, and I do hope that you get out of that. But if you are in a place like far away from where the awful is happening, and you turn the news off and you sit for a minute, and then you hear the birds singing and you see the beautiful weather, and it's not like you're ignoring the people that are suffering in the world. You're recovering so that you can help them later. Even if that's your thing, if you have anything that you have any control over to help with, that you can do that, but you can't do that if your cup is empty, basically. So you're already going to see the fruits of your labors. What's going to help you at that point is make sure that you're getting things around you to the way that they need to be to keep you able to have that, to have comfort with that. We have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is active Freya is a fertility god, and Ing's rune has to do with active creation. So work with what you have, create around you a setup that is going to help you to stay, to be able to control what you can, basically, with what you have. But yeah, immediately you're going to see fruits of your labors from that. You're going to feel, okay, I do have abundance. I do have nourishment. Now is the time that I can use to do these things. What isn't going to help is just these needs are going to be clamoring. You're still going to sort of feel like, and a lot of this is going to stem from this is right in the center. So the din of humanity is saying, you are, it's making you question your worth. It's making you want to freeze. It's making you want to, it's telling you all these things that have needs, and maybe you don't even have any way to fulfill them because they're like the other part of the world and you only can do so much. So this is where you're going to do what you can. This is not going to help you, but if you basically bring yourself back up to Ingvaz, you look at what you have, what can I do with what I have? And while you are feeling like, okay, this is the present moment, I'm feeling better now that I've actually taken care of tuning out the unnecessary din, you can work with what you have to do something. There's something that you can do, then do it. And that's what you can do. But it's not you're not expected to go and immediately, directly stop wars. You yourself do not have that on your shoulders, I hope. And if you do, then I hope you have help. Anyway, outcome for the whole reading, we have Avaz reversed. Avaz is the rune of the horse. This has to do with movement and also spirit. It is reversed. So ultimately, the thing is, and definitely I didn't see this come into it quite so much, but there is a sense of it where, make sure that you're not alone in this. And that's where this is coming in, where you are going to get that interaction. The outcome is that you won't feel like you need to run around as much. You won't feel like a spooked horse running around, galloping around because you don't know what to do. You're able to stop. You're able to conserve your energy. You're able to not have to stand. Oh my gosh. You're able to feel as though you don't have to wear yourself out. This is, it's reversed. So if you're going to do any running around, it's going to be internal, and you're going to be letting your spirit, whatever spirit is for you, carry you with that. But ultimately, if you take these steps, you're going to feel like, okay, it's not everything. It's a few things. I can direct some way that I can help with those things if I can. Otherwise, I'm just basically going to do what I need to take care of myself so that I can help what I can. Help with what I can, do what I can to help. So that, card number 3, people, is your reading for Finding Comfort. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish all of us all the best with this. And I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 4, people. So welcome to, I'm just checking the thing. Welcome to Finding Comfort, your Finding Comfort reading. Let's start by turning this TikTok. Okay. I just made a plush seahorse that I named TikTok. I'm sorry. Anyway, TikTok. So one of the things that's been pressuring you is time. You feel like you don't have enough time. You feel like you need to be using the time, and this is a problem because you need to give yourself the time to breathe. You need to give yourself the time to eat and have water and sleep. This is all very important. Just because things are urgent doesn't, you won't be, it's that whole make sure that your own oxygen mask is in place before attempting to assist another thing. And, you can arrange your day so that you're always doing something productive, but don't forget that sleeping, staying hydrated, eating properly, and, breathing are also productive in that they keep you alive and sane to a certain extent. So, but right now, this is what you're dealing with. This is the thing that you need to have comfort from. It's right in your face. And so let's get some runes down to help you with this. Yeah, you just you're faltering in the flow because of this, and you've got negative emotions happening, and definitely giving yourself stillness is going to help you. So let's get this reading down. And, I think that was the center point of another reading I just did. I could be wrong. It should have been, though, for all of them because it's really important. So getting the whole reading down first, and then I will read for you. Alrighty. Good. Central issue. We have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of water or the lake. It's emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. So I'm going to read this mostly as it's like you faltered in your flow, and it's like, there's so much pressure. And it gets to the point where, if you are pushing all the time, even if you're good at it, it gets to a point where you're like, you basically run out of air. Like you just basically, I can't anymore. I can't focus. I can't make my fingers move. It's just one of those things where it's just like, I'm really good at this, and why am I not able to move forward suddenly? And it's because, you've not given yourself time to breathe. So leading up to this, and this was a great source of your sense of worth as well. And so that's the thing. And maybe it's, in some cases, it might be like a job that, you're pushing, you're getting money. And you've sort of tied your sense of worth to it. Sorry, Fehu, rune of wealth and worth. You've tied your sense of worth to it. It's outward. So it's like, it's my sense of worth and wealth. And then you get to the point where the flow falters. And this is like this is fairly yang. This is your yin. And it's like your heart isn't in it anymore. And you basically feel like you're not moving forward, like the water's spinning. And you're getting these negative emotions surging up, or you are feeling numb. Like there's like, where are my emotions? Like you feel like you've lost your soul. So I've had jobs like that. But anyway, this is basically, you need the comfort very, 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 very much. What is going to help you? We have Isa, which is the rune of ice. It's the rune of standstill and the stillness through which clarity comes. So you need to give yourself that stillness. You need to give yourself that, like, okay, the flow's not working. The flow's not moving forward. Let's take a moment. Let's breathe. Let's be still. And then the more still you are, then like just inhabit that stillness. And then the clarity is going to start to come through, and you're going to get some answers of, why and how to fix it and what you need, kind of thing, which we're getting to. What isn't going to help is we have Manas reversed. Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it. I see this really as a worry about that by stopping, you are abandoning your whole life. Like by allowing yourself to stop, there is a real worry because you've put so much sense of worth into this that you are falling out of your place in humanity, like that you're falling out of where you belong, that you no longer will belong in humanity. It's like that line in Encanto. It's like that you feel you're worthless if you can't be of service, kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure I'm worthless if I can't be of service, is that line. And it's just heartbreaking. And that's the worry, like you feel like if I can't keep pushing forward with this and riding this, where the clock is pushing me, then who am I? What am I? What worth am I? And that could drag you down like a lot. And that could just basically surge these negative emotions, or just make you feel even more like you can't feel or you can't move forward. So bring yourself back up to, it's like, I'm going to be still. I'm going to give myself that moment of stillness. And hopefully the clarity will start to come through again. Your next step, once you've done that, and it's going to happen whether you want to or not at this point, that's the thing, is if you don't take care of things, your body's going to take care of it for you. If you don't allow yourself to stop, your body's going to stop you. So center of the entire reading, pinning the entire reading, is Nauthiz. Nauthiz is the rune of need. Basically, tend your needs. Take care of your needs. What am I doing here? Let me just I'm trying to make this look centered, and I think I keep building these too high. Anyway, center of the entire reading, pinning the entire reading, is you are going to address your needs. It's not an emergency yet, but it is basically, it's got to come front and center. And you will find out what those are when you have that moment of stillness. You're going to be like, okay, you know what? I need to do these things. I need to, whatever, the things that are going to make me comfortable again. So this is where you're going to do that. You're going to basically either make a list of them or make a list of them and start doing them, basically. See what it is that you need and start taking care of your needs. What is going to help you with that is we have Ansus, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. It's reversed on the upper line, so that's inner. Listen to your inner communication, like have that inner voice communication with yourself. Like, okay, self, what is it that I need? Let's triage. And then you can start taking care of things. Like get that really clear with yourself. Like you already started the clarity by being still. And that stillness, the clarity started coming through in the stillness. This is your inner communication. So focus on that. And that's going to help you sort of triage what these needs are and make sure that you're taking care of what needs to be taken care of in order of necessity. What isn't going to help is it's really hard to start again. We have Berkana reversed. Berkana is the rune of the birch tree, and it has to do with beginnings and birth. This has to do with, this continues on this line of, I feel like I'm abandoning everybody. It's like, if this is going to be the new me, then what does that mean for me? Who am I? Just all these worries about that. You're worried about like that kind of thing. It's also saying don't stop once you've started, because this is a new start for you, and you're starting is like, okay, you know what, taking care of myself is also important, and I can't take care of other people's stuff unless I've taken care of myself first. And that's new, and you may feel like, nope, not doing that. I took one drink of water, now I'm going back. It's like, no, you can't. You have to keep going. You have to keep working on making sure that you're taken care of. So most important thing, focus, as you're working on tending your needs, focus on that inner voice, that inner communication you're having with yourself, and say, okay, like I'm really listening now. What is it that I need? Because I need to make sure that I'm going to be viable to take care of what I need to take care of. And to do that, I need to take care of myself first. Your next step on the path line is we have Thurizaz reversed. Thurizaz is the rune of the challenge. It's the thorn, the giant, the gateway, and it's reversed, which is like a really, really, really hard challenge. Now, there are inner challenges also implied by a reversal of Thurizaz here. That's something you're definitely going to need to deal with. It's like there's that psychological level of, I don't want to turn inward. I have to keep pushing outward because that's where that's where my worth lives. But we've already established that it's not. You need to take care of yourself as well. But basically, once you've started to take care of your needs, then you're thinking about going back to this. You're thinking about taking on these challenges, or even just incorporating, making sure that you're taking care of your needs into this push life where you've been, riding the clock, not riding it, like being pushed by the clock, being shoved by the clock. It's difficult. It's almost impossible, but it's your thing. So you are facing it again. You're basically addressing it. What's going to help you is make sure that you keep standing up for yourself. Make sure that you keep supporting yourself and protecting yourself in this, because you weren't before, I don't think. Not as much as you needed to be. So we have Algi's reversed. Algi's is the rune of the moose. Why is this tilted? What am I doing to this? I'm reading as I'm leaning on it and making a mess. We have Algi's reversed. It's protection and support. So it's reversed on the upper line, which is inner. You're taking care of yourself. You're protecting yourself. You're supporting yourself. That's a carryover from this middle thing where you realize what you need and you need to continue to do those things. So as you address these challenges that you're facing, making sure that you're always taking care, like always making sure that you are giving yourself boundaries, priorities, as far as prioritizing your health and your sanity. Standing up for that is going to help with these challenges when you face them. What isn't going to help is we have Uruz, which is the rune of the wild ox. Your old habits are stubborn. Things are stubborn. The ox is strength and health, but it's also stubbornness. Now that can translate into positive resistance sometimes. However, and I think that's actually something that might be the case. Like you may be worried that that by standing up for yourself, you're going to be seen as stubborn and unmovable, and no longer the compliant and pliant, yes sir, right away sir type. And that's not going to help you. It's also, not going to help you that I'm sort of like trying to follow this line. It's like, this is my sense of worth. If I turn away from that, then I'm abandoning the world. I don't know how to be a new me at this point. And I'm just going to stubbornly stick to what I used to be, which is just like all the push. It's like, no, that's definitely not going to help you. Bring yourself back up to where you are standing up for yourself, which is okay to do. And you'll get past these difficult challenges. And ultimately, once you integrate that with that, you're going to feel more comfortable being able to shape the life that you have in such a way that you do have access to comfort at this point, like once you get to this point. We have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is the fertility god. I read this as active creation. You are working with what you have to create around you what you need to have around you, like a support system that balances taking care of yourself with your valiant and very worthy and heroic taking care of whatever you need to take care of based on the pushing of the clock, that whatever that manifests for you as. So that, card number 4, people, is your reading about finding comfort. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish all of us all the best with this. Goodness knows, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.